And I actually did a video that I put out recently, and it's just talking about like the value of dollar today versus what it will be worth in the future. And you'd be amazed to know that a dollar today is not worth the same in the future. It's actually worth less, right? So I think we talked about it, buying a loaf of bread. So if you're buying a loaf of bread today, can you buy, if you only have that same dollar, can you buy that loaf of bread in the future? And you can't, right? So that's the whole goal, is to understand money and also understand how to build on it so that it makes sense for the future. So building control and stability. So understanding income and expenses and building control and stability. So hopefully when we're done with this session today, you'll be able to understand what a budget really is, see how to track your income. If you're not currently doing that, most people do it, but not everybody does. So track your income and expenses realistically, and then build a simple, flexible spending plan. Now, I think a lot of people assume or think that, a budget needs to be overwhelming, and it doesn't. It's just understanding like how to outlay that, put it in perspective so that it makes sense. So identifying spending leaks, and if you do have leaks, how to eliminate them, right? And then adjust your budget when the income or your expenses change. A lot of times people set their budget and they just leave it. It's not a pressure cooker. So you can't just set it and forget it. You have to check on it. And if things change in your life, your income changes, your expenses changes, make the necessary tweaks, right? So that's the important thing to understand. So what's a budget? What is a budget to you guys? What do you consider a budget? Not what's tier, but what's a budget to you?
For me, it's tracking my expenses.
Okay.
Tracking my money.
Okay.
Because then you track the money, then you kind of know it's like, okay, but budget for me is how is my money being spent?
Okay.
Where is it going?
Okay.
So I was going to say planning where your money goes.
Planning where your money goes.
Versus, your travel or, what do you call it, entertainment, all that stuff included.
Yep.
For me, particularly, it's accountability.
Accountability. So it's all of those things, right? It's understanding where your money is going. It's the accountability. It's putting money aside for every single thing that you need, including travel, because travel is also important. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, that should really be a part of your life. Take a break. You need to take a vacation. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be something overly expensive, but everybody needs a time to reset, take a break, and breathe. So that needs to be included in your budget too. Those meals that you have out every week or every other week, that should be included in your budget as well. Entertainment is a part of that. So it's basically, budget is the map, and then saving is the destination. Like, where do you intend to go? So we're going to talk about some practical ways to do that. And it should not create a fog for you. Like, when somebody say, do you know your budget? You shouldn't feel like, oh my God, I'm not sure. It shouldn't feel overwhelming. It shouldn't feel stressful. So that's why it's important to even have the conversations. I start these conversations with my family members, like at a very young age, because you need to understand the value of money. And when kids, I feel, understand it early, when they get to college, they're not overwhelmed because now they're working and they have money and now they're spending and they don't know where the money is going. Or if their parents is pumping money into them, right? They need to understand how to spend that. So a budget is a plan for your money before it disappears. Now, if you are just, you're earning and automatically, like, I set up everything automatically. So my mortgage gets paid automatically. My car note gets paid automatically. I just have everybody just go into my bank account and take out what you need, right? But if I don't have a plan for that and I don't know what's coming out, can you imagine? Everybody's just going into my account every month and they're taking what they need. And then when I look, there's nothing left for me, right? So that's what a budget. You need to plan for it before it all disappears, because it can disappear very easily, right? A detailed budget helps you understand where your money is going and identify areas to cut back on spending. Now, one of the areas, and it's on one of the slides that I like to, look at every single year or every few years, is subscriptions. We get lost in those.
They go up every
They go out, and that's one of those expense that it comes out automatically. You're not paying, right? You're not calling up the whatever peacock and saying, here's the money. They're taking it out. So when that increase happens, you don't even know. Yeah.
From 17 to 19.
And sometimes they send the email overnight.
But they don't, oftentimes you don't.
They
send
don't,
you an email.
exactly.
So they were like, when did this happen? And they're like,
Exactly.
"Oh, but we sent you an email."
Exactly. So it's one of those areas that I always say, take a look at it because it could change drastically. So budgeting is a plan of choice, right? It plans your choices. It should not feel like punishment. If it feels like punishment, then we need to revisit it because maybe it's too drastic, it's too hard. So we need to make a budget needs to match your real life. Basically, it's not what somebody else says for you, right? It needs to be what is your situation, what's my situation, right? So a good budget works even when money is tight, and that's the key.